He too cool. He sent his boy over.
Okay.
Yo, my man over there, he's nice. He want to rhyme for you. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give him my manager's info, and he work it out from there. If he dope, I'm work with him. So he goes back and tell Al. He said, that. He'll rhyme for you right now, and if you don't like him, he'll never bother you again. Man, he rhymed for me, and when he was finished, I was getting his numbers.
My old brick demon, the wolf's out because it's stick season. This ain't the time to have your wrist freezing. I might throw the big cat, drink a 6-pack, big clap, let me get that. Make it quick black. The chit chat, why y'all test? No one these hot slugs and fry y'all flesh. Tax and bangers like the IRS. I used to front, but never really rich. You should push woolly whips like the white Rover. Front on Coley on your life sober.
Big L was that. Big L really, I don't like that they gave him his flowers after he was dead.
Right.
They should have gave him when he was here. But I guess it was too much going on, or just how the world is. But Big L was one of the first, when we was still trying to get a deal and still I don't know if we met Puff yet. Big L was one of the first young dudes that make it.
Treacherous on the mic. Up, tearing, punchlines every couple of seconds, that's another man go, yo, what? Man, it's wildin', man. Wildin', man. Big L, man, it's wild. Yo, Jay, man, that Jay need to get up to Big L. Anytime he'll say anything about, man, doing them shows when you have Big Pun in there, he should have Big L up in that as well, man.
You a man of God now, yo, it's amazing. L is blazing, always been. Before I put the braids in, I used to let the waves spin. What you be saying don't impress me at all. And them chicks you be jaying don't be sexy at all. Word life, everything that I recite stand out. Go ahead in front so I can try this right hand out across your jaw. L never lost the war. No respect for them cowards who enforce the law. You got something to say, cough it out. Cause cats be wanting beef, but when you pull out the heat, they're ready to choke it out. What is there to talk about? You was just frontin', now it ain't nothing. Ain't that something? I should start busting anyway and put one of you punks in the ground. That cats be killing me with y'all faces frown, jumping around like you scared of L, not even. Word, cause I'ma be a thug until I stop breathing.
Yo, face! Yo, your face, please, with sugar on top!
Alright, y'all, now this Big L story is interesting to me personally because, for one, Big L was my second favorite rapper of all time. At first it was Slick Rick. Don't ask me why. I was young and what I was doing as young as I was listening to Slick Rick, but yeah. But as far as I can remember, when it came to rappers, Big L was one of the first to have the witty punchlines mixed with metaphors that I could say made me gravitate to his music. From his freestyles to his songs, it was what real hip-hop represented. Not much of the quote-unquote hip-hop you hear to this day. Big L was one of the first guys in Jay-Z's prime where they say that Big L outshined him in a radio freestyle that they both did. Usually when Jay-Z got on a track with someone or freestyled alongside of them, it's unanimous that everyone picks Jay-Z. But in this instance, a lot of people would say that Big L got the best of Jay-Z, and from that point on, the Jay-Z versus Big L comparisons would start, and you had a lot of people in the favor of Big L. He will also have a track called 98 Freestyle, where he had a few quotables. One of the most known of them were when he said, quote, "Turn your tux red, far from broke, I get enough bread. And mad girls, ask Beavis, I get nothing but head." It's witty lines like that that will make Big L known for a style in which a lot of these rappers adapted later on after Big L. He had a good career, but it was also a short one, as he was unalived back in 1999. According to reports, Big L was in the phone booth when the car pulled up and would start shooting, striking him multiple times in the face and torso. At the time of his passing, it was a lot of speculation and theories floating around as to what happened to Big L. He wasn't known for having major beef in the street, to the point where they would want him deceased, but some say it's not him that they wanted, but it was his older brother. According to rumors, his brother was heavy into the streets, and when he got into tension, he fled to get away from harm's way. However, like they say, if I can't find you, I get someone close to you to make it hurt even more, knowing you were the reason. If y'all remember, in 50 Cent's song Heat, he said, quote, "If you smart, you'll be shookin' me. cause I get tired of looking for you, spray your mama crib and let your butt look for me. Now, that was one theory, right? The second theory involved Jay-Z, where people accuse him of allegedly being behind the hit, but it hasn't been 100% confirmed by any real sources. Just rumors. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but just relating the rumors that's put out there. But that's funny, because fast forward to today's day and age, with the alleged rumors between Tory Lanez and a certain label, well, yeah, that's another story. Now let's get into this video done by Dose of Mystery explaining the life and unaliving of Big L. If you would like to see the original video, I'll leave a link pinned in the comments, but until then, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
I was waiting for L, I'm beeping him, we got beepers packed in. Yeah. I'm calling him, I'm leaving voicemails, he's not getting back to me, and reason being was I had another idea to do a record with him.
The streets don't love you back.
The streets don't love you back.
One evening in 1999, Lamont Coleman, better known by his stage name, Big L, was standing outside of his home in Harlem, unaware of the danger that he was in. For moments later, he would be brutally gunned down and assassinated on the spot by his childhood friend. It was a cold evening in Harlem on February 15th, 1999, and Big L was standing on the street outside of his home on 45th West 139th Street in his native Harlem. That night, he was supposed to meet with DITC rapper Omar Jarrell Criddle, better known by his stage name, OC.
And the reason I say that is, you know, for people who didn't hear the song, I was waiting for L and D&D that night. And I think B.I. show was going out of town or something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, he was on the GW bridge. And I was waiting for L, I'm beeping him. We got beepers packed in. Yeah. I'm calling him, I'm leaving voicemails. He's not getting back to me. And
at that time, Big L was about to enter the peak of his career. He had just founded his own record label, thanks to which he had caught the attention of Jay-Z and Damon Dash, who wanted to sign him and his crew to their independent record label, Rockefeller.
Now, that's another thing. We don't know, once again, it's all rumors, but it's alleged that, I forgot the label, it wasn't Children of the Corn, I forgot which one. But he had a group with like the other Harlemites. You had McGruff, I think Camron at the time. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Children of the Corn. I'm not sure. But anyway, it said that Dame Dash and Jay-Z wanted to sign him and his label under them, but he didn't want to do it. And a lot of people believe that that's one of the reasons why he may have, you know, we're just going to leave it at that.
Had the deal gone through, it would have skyrocketed L's career to new heights. But sadly, his career was viciously cut short. On that fateful evening in February 1999, at around 8:30 p.m., as L
Yo, it's crazy. He was only 24 years old. You know, when you think about it, right, when we was young and we seen Biggie, Tupac, we thought they were just 30 years old. We thought they were just older than what they really was. Come to find out, these guys was every bit of 23, 24. Right? It's just crazy to see how young they were and how developed they were at the age that they were at, but come to realize they were kids at the end of the day, 24 years old.
Stood outside his home. A car suddenly pulled up to him, and a man opened fire on the legendary rapper. The vicious drive-by ended in disaster, and Big L was shot 9 times in the face and chest, ending his life instantly. As police were called to the scene, OC continued trying to get a hold of Big L, unaware of the tragic fate that had just befallen him. OC was excited about a new collaboration idea he wanted to share with L, but when his phone went straight to voicemail multiple times, OC hung up and drove home. As soon as he arrived at his house, he saw his wife crying, and it was she who told him about the tragic incident that had taken the life of his best friend. OC was devastated, as was the rest of the hip-hop community in Harlem.
Yeah. I'm calling him, I'm leaving voicemails, he's not getting back to me. And reason being was I had another idea to do a record with him. And fast forward, I get home, and my lady was like, yo, I came in the house and she was teary-eyed, she wasn't boo-hooing. When I got closer to her, that wasn't that vibe. And automatically I was like, who's dead? And she was like, L. So the first thing that came to mind was Finesse. Both L's.
Yeah.
I was like, Ness? And she was like, nah. L. Big L. Sh0t just called.
It was a well-known fact that Big L was about to hit massive mainstream success. His first album, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, which was released in 1995 by his record label Columbia Records, has solidified him as one of the most lyrically talented rappers in the country.
This right here was one of my favorite albums of all time, y'all. And like they said, let me tell you, he had a very, very short career, but that album was taking him places. I told y'all before, I don't know if they're going to get into it in this video, but this is the same guy that he rapped alongside Jay-Z, freestyle, right, on the radio. And it was said that a lot of people felt that he ran laps around Jay-Z. You don't hear about that. You don't hear about things like that. But he did it.
Nicknamed Harlem's Finest by other members of the rap scene, Big L was known across the nation for his phenomenal freestyling ability and his dark lyrics, which helped bring more attention to horrorcore rap, a previously underrepresented genre in the hip-hop industry. Big L was a valuable member of the hip-hop community in Harlem, but the fact that his career was about to take off when he was assassinated made the incident more difficult to process for his friends, family, fans, and fellow rappers. Following the tragic incident, dozens of rappers gathered together in Harlem for his funeral to pay their respects to the legendary Big L. Rappers like Fat Joe, Camron, and Jay-Z expressed their condolences, mentioning that they had rarely met a rapper who could rhyme and freestyle with the natural ability of Big L. In fact, it was well known in the hip-hop community that one of L's claim to fame was that he had been able to match Jay-Z's lyrical ability in 2 different freestyle battles, which put a huge amount of respect on L's name. On one particular day in February 1995, Jay-Z and Big L had an epic freestyle battle on the Stretch and Bobito radio show, during which the two allegedly went back and forth for an hour straight, displaying their lyrical ability and impressing everyone in the room with their epic flow. In the end, most people concluded that the battle had ended in a draw, although Big L disagreed and later claimed that he won. One thing was for sure, Big L had demonstrated that he had the talent to build an incredibly successful career in hip-hop. From that point on, Big L became known in Harlem as one of the only rappers who could match Jay-Z. Soon after his passing.
So, you know what the crazy part is? Like I told y'all earlier, back before, if you rhymed against Jay-Z or with Jay-Z alongside of him, it was unanimous that everybody would say, yo, nah, Jay-Z killed him, Jay-Z this. There's only 2 people in this world that I know so far that Jay-Z rapped alongside, and people said, it was either a tie or a draw. For some reason, it's like an unwritten rule to say that somebody outdid Jay-Z, right? You had Eminem on a track called Lucifer. A lot of people said Jay-Z did his thing, but they also said Eminem did his thing. It's like, up and down. Those freestyles, y'all could check them out for yourselves when y'all get a chance. But those freestyles, I personally would say Big L. But like I told y'all before, for some reason, it's like an unwritten rule to say that Jay-Z wasn't doing better than whoever his opponent was. But Big L definitely got the best of him.
A memorial was made for him on 139th Street and Lenox, very close to where he was assassinated. Shortly after that, he was buried at George Washington Memorial Park in New Jersey. After the passing of Big L shook up Harlem and the rap scene at large, the NYPD launched an investigation to find L's assailant and bring him to justice. At the start of the investigation, an NYPD spokesperson said that the shooting could have been a retaliation hit. One of the theories that the police were investigating was that Big Lee, Big L's brother, had allegedly been involved in an altercation with Gerald Woodley, one of Big L's childhood friends. According to sources familiar with the incident, because Lee had been in prison at the time, Woodley had decided to target his younger brother, Big L, instead. Woodley and L had been close since they were young and lived only a few blocks away from each other in Harlem. It was hard to believe that someone who had been on Big L's debut album cover would assassinate him in cold blood and in such a gruesome manner. But Woodley had a history of vicious crime and an apparent motive for the shooting. During the 90s, Woodley was accused of 3 separate hits, including the assassination of Big L, for which he was arrested about 3 months after the incident. Around the time of his arrest, police also received information regarding a slightly different motive for the shooting. Allegedly, Big L had put a price on Woodley's head and ordered members of a gang he was affiliated with to rob him and end his life. Although the hit was not carried out successfully, Woodley still found out about the plan and decided to take revenge. Even though police were fully convinced that Woodley was responsible for the hit on Big L, this was never officially confirmed.
Exactly. So here's the thing that I want to let y'all know, right? He did go down for it, but it was never like etched in stone that he was the guy that did it, that, he was behind it, or the reason behind it was because of what they just said. It was never etched in stone. So technically, they really don't have a real reason as to why Big L was unalive. And to be honest with you, they probably don't even know if that's really the person. Y'all know how they do. They're going to make sure, they grease the family like, yeah, we found him. We found the guy that did it. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's not 100% accurate. And to this day, they don't know for sure if the motive behind taking Big L's life is 100% accurate or if he was in fact the guy.
And the NYPD eventually released him due to a lack of evidence.
Crazy.
As fate would have it, Woodley himself would be slayed 17 years later in 2016. In a shocking turn of events, he was shot in the back of the head as he was standing outside of his own home in Harlem, less than 250 yards away from the location where he had allegedly taken Big L's life in 1999.
Crazy.
Details of the crime were not made public, but several sources claim that Gerald Woodley had amassed many enemies during his life due to his recklessness, vicious lifestyle, and that the hit was bound to take place at some point. Camron, another rapper from Harlem, attended Woodley's 2016 funeral. At the time of the hit, he tweeted, "All born on 139th, all passed away on 139th. Shaking my head, damn, R.I.P." The poignant tweet was of course posted in reference to the hit of Big L. In a video uploaded by Camron to his Instagram, he sang the lyrics, "Grew up with Big L," and the dude who supposedly slayed him. A week before that, though, Big L had tried to slay him. What was he to do? Please don't get in your feelings. When the time is right, I will tell you about these villains. Now everybody's gone, so it ain't about squealing. Although these lyrics were by no means definitive proof that Big L had indeed put out a hit on his friend Gerald Woodley a week before his passing, it was enlightening for police to know that a source so close to the matter seemed to think so. After all, Cameron had been a close friend with both Big L and Woodley during their lifetimes, and he was viewed by many as a credible source. As it would later turn out, Camron wasn't the only source that would confirm this theory. In a book that was later released by Woodley's cousin, it was confirmed that Big L had arranged for Woodley to be robbed and assassinated a week before L lost his life outside his home in Harlem. Even though Big L's career was tragically cut short, just as he was about to reach massive mainstream success, he still managed to influence a whole generation of rappers after him.
See, here's the thing that I got a problem with this whole situation, and what I always had a problem with. So here's what they claim, and let's see if this makes sense, right? They claim that Big L was supposedly trying to have this guy robbed, right? Killed, robbed, or whatever. For what? And there's no proof that he really tried to have him robbed. That's just a story that's been floating around. Now with the Woodley guy, they saying that he allegedly had Big L unalive. But once again, they don't know if that's true neither, because they don't have no real motive or evidence to pin him to it. So it's like, what's really going on here? And then he lost his life, so it's not like they could really know what's going on or whatever. Crazy.
To this day, rappers like Nas, A$AP Rocky, and OC have continued to reference his greatness in their songs and interviews, which speaks volumes about the timelessness of L's contribution to the Harlem hip-hop scene. In 2006, rapper Nas said on MTV, "He scared me. When I heard that on tape, I was scared to death. I said, yo, it's no way I can compete if this is what I gotta compete with." Just a year after his passing in 2000, L's next album, The Big Picture, was released with the help of his business partners and close friends. With the energy of the rappers to propel the album forward, The Big Picture quickly went gold and garnered massive success thanks to a massive following of loyal fans who yearned to hear L's unique style and flow expressed in one last album. Throughout his life, and even posthumously, L acquired a wide variety of nicknames thanks to his talent, including the favorite rapper of your favorite rapper, the Devil's Son, and El Coleon. To honor him, West 140th Street and Lenox Avenue in Harlem was renamed after the late rapper last summer in 2022. The new street sign, which now reads Lamont Big L Coleman Way, serves as a testament to the rapper's long-lasting influence in his hometown. With his incredible talent and dedication to the art, L will forever be remembered as one of hip-hop's greatest what-ifs, and his legacy will continue to inspire new generations of rappers for many years to come.
Alright, y'all. That's pretty much it. Like I told y'all before, it's kind of crazy with this situation because to this day, it's really not clear what happened. There's many theories. I know there's a rumor that's been floating around to say that his brother was the reason why he was unalive because of whatever he did in Harlem. Now they're saying that he plotted against one of their friends to rob him. But here's the thing, why would he want to rob one of his friends? Right? If you pay attention to this day, the same thing is going on. It's like a pattern that just don't stop. One of these rappers lose their life ahead of their time, like while they in their prime. Next thing you know, they put out a how they say, posthumous album, and then they use that because they know that the people like them and they want to hear music, and then it take off, and then everybody profits. It's the same thing that go on to this day. Crazy, man. But it seems to me like his unaliving still haven't been solved. There's really no suspects. The only suspect that got caught for it, he was released due to lack of evidence. And yeah, so y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Shout out to Big L and his family, man. Rest in peace. Definitely was one of the GOATs of his time. I don't care what nobody say, like I told y'all before. He was definitely one of my favorites, man. Style unmatched. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time I drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out.